Cześć.
Hello.
Przemek. Okay, great.
Pleasure.
Welcome.
So it's a great pleasure to be here with you guys. Although I believe that anti-money laundering may be something complicated, it may sound complicated, but I hope together we will prove it's not, and it can be for everybody. So I'm very happy that I'm here. My journey with Latin America started with RSK. I've met Diego, and I realized, because I was a Bitcoin person, so I was since 2011 in Bitcoin. I was the guy who was like only like trying to keep 99% of my wealth in Bitcoin. So when I met Pavel and Grant and Kuba from Confirm, we realized that we will build anti-money laundering software, because the banks and financial institutions, they have to communicate somehow. They have to communicate with the crypto world. So what's so important, that from my perspective, and I'm in crypto for the 7 years, and in anti-money laundering I'm for 3 years, I believe that anti-money laundering, it's kind of philosophical term. It's kind of philosophical because if you ask federal government of US if $1 in Iran is dirty or not, they will say it's dirty. Thank you. So always when you talk about anti-money laundering, it's very important. It's very important who do you ask, and if you will ask in Uruguay if $1 from marijuana is it legal, they will say yes, it's legal. So basically, it's kind of philosophical sense, because it always depends who you ask. So what I believe in every business, either if you are private individual, if you are a business person, or if you are investor, there are many challenges, and some of those challenges are related to compliance. So to comply, it means to obey the law. But which law should you obey? There are 193 countries in the world, and for the last 5 years, I did research on all of them, on 193 countries, where it's the best for Bitcoin. At the end of the speech, I will share some of those ideas. So the current size of money laundering problem, it's enormous. It's not 2 billion, it's $2 trillion. And of course, not every dollar of this can be saved. We estimate that banks only stop 1% of this problem, which is very, very small. If somebody would tell you that in crypto we can stop 100% of money laundering, it's not true. My estimate would be 80, maybe 85 can be stopped, but still it's very good. It's very good ratio. So ecosystem is maturing. That we are here, and of course, thank you, Rodolfo, and thank you, the organizers team, for doing this great event, and that I, as an anti-money laundering person, as an investor also, from this field that I'm invited, we are invited with Przemek, it means that ecosystem is truly maturing. Because I remember in 2012, I was with Amir Taki in London on the conference. It was totally anarchistic. It was like, yeah, anarchy, total anarchy. We don't need banks. We don't need banks. But right now, some of banks are here with us. So as you see, there are many countries where AML is more and more easy to understand. For example, Gibraltar is a good example, because they call it DLT. You can say, okay, banks, they call blockchain DLT, but still they are trying to achieve what we all believe in. So I don't have to explain you the differences between the traditional banking and blockchain, because in traditional banking, the things are not seen. The things are simply not seen. If one bank wants to hide information, they can easily hide information. So what's the solution? The solution of Confirm, the anti-money laundering solution of our company, is to provide you with 200 or more scenarios. So let's say that you have an address from Pirate Bay. Everybody knows Pirate Bay. You can download Linux distribution, for example, from Pirate Bay, right? So basically, if you give us the address and you say, I want to verify this address, we will use 200 scenarios, and we will look into it very deeply. So we will check if the money is breaking the law or not. There are many obstacles in the internet. I believe a lot of you still remember how the hackers and how the spam is happening in the internet. So trust me or not, but they are moving into our system. Because if the spammer or a hacker, he wants to steal or hide $1 million, he will most likely hide it in Bitcoin. But still, there are ways to make this ecosystem more honest. There was an interesting speech of Zoko from Zcash that Zcash is not for criminals, and I believe that CoinFirm one day will be able to analyze. We are working on it to kind of analyze also Monero and Zcash to check if it's possible to analyze them. And I believe Zoko is very open to collaborate. So some of the financial institutions are the largest ones in the world are already interested into blockchain. So some of the banks like Turicum Bank from Gibraltar and PKO from Europe are already our clients. Why? Because it's 90 times more effective on blockchain and 10 times cheaper. So I would like you to also look at our great team. This is from your left, it's Paweł. He's 20 years in compliance. He was in RBS. He's one of the best experts in Europe. There is Paweł, who managed to stop about 5 million euro to be tracked in the steel market. Steel is like production of steel. So he realized that the factories, they were losing money, and he was helping them, and he realized that if you can stop the factories to lose money, you can do the same on blockchain. Then there is Grant, Kuba, our CTO, and myself. Also, we have advisors from one of the largest banks in the world, from Citibank, and also from Tokyo. And there is second part of the speech, and I will share the countries with you after this. So, this is an example how the best AML can be done. Our partner is Przemek Rodecki, who is a former investment banker. He's very innovative now into logistics, and he will tell you how and why anti-money laundering is important into logistics.
Thank you, Maciej, for this kind introduction and great speech and presentation. Thanks. Same mistake. He didn't have it, now I didn't have it. We still need to flip the slides. So, PickPack, as Maciej said, I am representing this company here today, and I wanna talk about the company as a use case of the technology CoinFirm has developed. He has spoken a lot about anti-money laundering, which is extremely important. There is the second leg of their business, and their business model also does KYC, which is basically processes of know your client. Well, I mean, let me tell you a few words about myself. First, I have to admit I'm relatively new to the community. I mean, blockchain and Bitcoin. I'm an investment banker by background. And it's all quite exciting for me to be here. That's my third event this year around the world. And I have had a number of conversations with some of you, some great minds really here, and the terms that I hear here, like stablecoin or STO, ICO, or volatility hedging, all those terms really come from the old economy roots, and this is like a journey for me because when I hear them, I think of Bretton Woods Treaty, I think of Black and Scholes options pricing model, margin calls, or generally derivative instruments. So this is all the same, just with a different unit, different currency, different methodology, yes. And I spent over 20 years with investment banks, yes, Citibank, Union Bank of Switzerland, and Nomura. With Nomura, the largest Japanese bank, I spent 20 years. I was an equity research analyst. I'm a chartered financial analyst holder. And I have done transactions between $50 million to $6 billion for clients as an investment banker working for Nomura, the Japanese bank. 2 years ago, I decided to leave the industry and joined basically a little bit of a different kind of business. I became an investor myself and basically like an entrepreneur, more of a banker. And one of the companies that we try to develop is PickPack. This is basically a courier business. So you may think, okay, what does courier business have to do with what CoinFirm does? And it's kind of a boring business, you may say, but let me try to explain why it's not and why actually it has merits for technology that CoinFirm is developing. Right. We have the next slide. So you look at the slide and you'll see, oh, here is another guy that tries to compare to Uber and Netflix and use an unsubstantiated parallel. But there is one thing that is common among the companies on the left. We have Netflix, Uber, Spotify, Amazon, Airbnb. All those businesses did one thing, and this is how they were basically created. They applied a customer-centric approach. Yes, they put you guys and us in control. Yes, so what's different between Spotify? What's the difference between Spotify and the old business model? What's the difference for Netflix and the old business model? You control what you view. You control what you buy. You can buy one song. Yes, you can buy a movie and hold it as long as you want to. There are no penalties for late returns. And at PickPack, we looked at courier services, and we do have a good grasp on courier services, and we mainly deliver e-commerce parcels, and we specialize in same-day delivery, because this is the big thing in the industry, in e-commerce industry nowadays, same-day delivery. And we thought, hang on a second, I mean, who's really the subject of the entire process? Is it the logistics company? Is it the e-commerce? No, actually it's us. We are buying the goods on the internet, and we do it more and more and more. I'm sure every one of you shopped on internet, certainly I did, my wife certainly does, to a probably a little bit too large extent. And we are the subjects, yes, we want to control the process of the delivery of a parcel. The shopping does not end when you press the button pay. The shopping ends when you get the parcel. And the trouble with the current courier services is that you are not the customer of the courier company, yes? They want to get rid of the parcel as soon as possible and deliver it, yes? But the thing is that with the growing of e-commerce, with the growth of e-commerce globally, we will be receiving more and more parcels, yes? An average household can be easily receiving 1 or 2 parcels a day. And I mean, we are human beings. We work, we go to school, we go to parties, we want to rest. We don't want to sit at home and wait for the courier. Why would we want to do it, yes? We already spent our money with the e-commerce. Let them deal with it. I mean, we need to get our parcel. The fact is that e-commerce will drag along the courier services globally. And the courier services, the way they are done today, it's like Stone Age. I mean, think about it. What's the difference, really, between how the parcels were delivered in the 50s and how they delivered today? I mean, in the future, I believe the parcels will be delivered in a sort of autonomous vehicle, drone type kind of model, yes? But so far, it's still the human being, the poor guy going at 5 a.m. to a storage house, picking up 100 parcels and trying to basically plan the route and deliver the parcels to you. And it's like a hit and miss exercise, yes? He's basically chasing you guys trying to deliver the parcels. So the growth is there, and I think the industry will be exciting. And so how does that work? I mean, effectively, we have all seen this. I mean, missed deliveries, you know, not the right address, not the right day. He didn't come at all, yes? You wanted to call the courier. That doesn't work. Or it's an extreme hassle, yes? Why can't we have an application on the phone that actually we can talk to the courier like in an Uber app? What's so difficult about it, yes? So we are developing an ecosystem that will have an application, mobile application on the top, which will connect courier companies across the globe, basically. Yes. We start small, we start Central Europe, we'll go east, towards Middle East, most likely the plan is, and then Far East Asia. But we want to connect the courier companies, we want to build the ecosystem on blockchain, and then while connecting all other stakeholders, all courier companies, and actually people who use the service, this is where the technology of know your client comes, yes? We don't want to connect a random person, a criminal, yes? We don't want his money. We need to know who we're connecting. This needs to all be automated, yes? This cannot be manual, paper-based process. And the technology that CoinFirm developed and is selling now to banks, we see great utility of this technology for other industries. I mean, banks are obvious, yes. I mean, when you think of anti-money laundering, you think banks, yes. You think criminals, you think drug lords. When you think of know your client, you think of sensitive industries, I don't know, accounting, again, banking, that before you sign up a client, legal firms, yes. Before they sign up a client, they need to run a proper KYC process. Know your client, this is what it stands for. We believe that in courier services, if we launch a global-wide platform where we connect different courier companies and all the stakeholders in the process, we need to know them as the clients, yes? Unique thing about the solution is that, and it's quite rare, as I said, you know, I'm by background, I'm an economist and basically a financier, but it's quite unique that when you disrupt a certain space, like, you know, Netflix disrupted the space of movie lending, yes, or borrowing. What did they do? They killed Blockbuster, yes, so this stakeholder went out. You know, wind of change coming with guys like Netflix turned out to actually be a hurricane of change for Blockbuster. In our case, we believe we can actually change the game for the stakeholders of the process in a positive way for all of them. We see 4 stakeholders, and briefly, I'll describe them for you. It's basically you. First, the first stakeholder is you. You want to have a flexible and easy way of managing the deliveries, yes? You want to be able to readdress the parcel, change the time, everything in a mobile app, talk to the courier. Why is it so difficult now, yes? So you are benefiting. Second is the e-commerce operator. Think of Zalando, think of Trendyol. Anyone that basically wants you to be happy. They want you on the website, and they want you to buy as much as possible. Yes, we like shopping, they like us shop. Yeah? That's the rules of the game. The trouble is that these guys are investing hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars in UX, user experience, and unfortunately at the last phase of the process, i.e. the courier delivery, everything is failing, yes? The nightmare starts, the pleasantries end, basically, yes? And we think that by developing the ecosystem and allowing you to be in control and flexibly manage the process from your point of view, e-commerce will benefit. Courier companies is the third stakeholder. They will ultimately benefit as well, because the process will be streamlined and they will see higher profits. And the last but not least is the poor courier guy. He's driving a car, trying to manage the route. Why is he doing this all on his own? He's picking up the phone from you because you managed to somehow call him. He should be just driving the car. The machines behind the computers should tell him, you know what, there's been a change of plan because John Smith just requested a different address or a different delivery time, and at the next crossroad, you don't go left, you go right. That's it. This is all he should be doing, really, yes? Okay, I said we are a, again, bunch of nice logos of great companies, yes? So, but we are an existing business, yes? So we have about 1,000 clients, and some of them are really well-known brands. You will recognize BMW, Vichy, Unilever. I mean, I'm amazed. When I joined this business, I was amazed how easily they're winning the clients. And then I found out why, because these guys are using the giants of the world, DHLs, DPDs, UPXs, and all the other ones. The trouble is these companies are not designed to do multiple same-day deliveries to hundreds of nodes or pickup points, basically, as they struggle. If they offer a same-day delivery service, it's extremely expensive. We basically do it at a lower price and better quality. Well, that's a little bit of a marketing spin here on us. As I said, we have over 1,000 clients. We have courier partners of above 100. We currently delivered so far 50,000 parcels. Next year, in 6 months, we'll be delivering roughly 100,000 parcels a month. And at the end of the year, the plan is for above 200,000 parcels. This is the plan for development. As I said, we go east. We raised so far, we raised so far about $2 million. We will be doing another round of equity or equity token, and we are basically growing and developing. The team, as every company here, we have a good team. We think there are guys from Uber, Microsoft, Google, good experience, guys like myself. Then I think that's it, really. We have only 7 seconds left, Maciej. So.
Okay, so thank you so much, guys. And I promised I will tell my favorite countries. So from my research, I thought those great countries are Tonga, Kiribati, Vanuatu, and Samoa. But after being here in Latin America, I believe the greatest countries for Bitcoin are Argentina, Uruguay, and Chile. Thank you so much.
Yeah.